Alright guys, so we've been driving the car now for a few days and it seems to be good. Driving well. I don't have any leaks or anything crazy wrong going on. It's been reliable for the last few days. Knock on wood that it stays that way. Just a couple little things I want to work on. Recently it started, obviously I don't have a tune on this, but recently it started it's been like leaning out under boost and also just at constant throttle. I'll see it'll go from a good like 13, 14 AFR and then just sweep up to lean, run like shit, and then go back, especially if I let off the gas and it goes, I don't know. So I'm gonna see if I can adjust that with timing or something like that, because I don't really want to go get a tune just yet, because I'm gonna need a ECU and then pay someone to do it. Obviously very expensive, trying to avoid that for a little bit and at the same time not blow up the engine, so a bit of a balance there. But I also have a bit of a noise coming from my passenger front brake pad caliper, something there going on, so we're gonna pull that up and lubricate that today. I want to replace my transmission fluid. I went and looked around, nobody has like synchro mesh, or obviously they're not gonna have the Honda manual transmission fluid. I'd have to go to a dealership probably for that, but yeah, nobody had anything that I could use, so you have to order that or whatever. And I also have on the way a stock motor mount for this side, because I'm driving this every day. It's a little bit too aggressive with that, and you know, after 20 years or whatever, like this panel rattles, little things in there, they all shake, they rattle, it's super annoying. So I'm gonna do that, fix it, make it a little bit more calm, make it not feel like it's gonna shake my balls off. And we also need to get a rear view mirror, whether I go today or tomorrow, whatever. I don't know, I'm gonna get one of those, because it's pretty common that over time they'll the bearing in them gets super soft and super easy to adjust, and with the vibrations, especially with those motor mounts, it just starts to fall down every time you drive. So I just have to go to a scrapyard and find one that's nice and rigid, replace that, it'll be good to go, it'll stay in place. I had that issue on my first Honda, so I know that that's an easy fix with that. Otherwise, yeah, just little checkups, making sure she's still good to go, nothing came loose, nothing's gonna be wrong, and make sure she's good so we can keep on ripping her up. And I'm gonna hopefully try and get some driving videos soon, some more out in the world stuff, get some noise, some flybys, some turbo sounds, all that good stuff. So working on it slowly, but for now just little checkups, make sure everything's good.
1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper.
Alright, real quick, so I just pulled this off, and now that I spin this, I can tell it's not making a noise anymore. So it's definitely something to do in here. It looks like, hopefully you guys don't hear this fucking music in the background like mad, but anyway, because I don't use these screws because they always break off. This one's sitting out. It looks like I put it on in a way that it wasn't lined up with the hole, so that could have been causing the vibration. This could be uneven, and our pads and stuff, they look good, nice and even wear. So just gonna lubricate fucking everything, put it back together, see what happens. Friggin' sweet. So we just put it all back together, all lubed up, and now spins nice and free. Before, it would get hung up after a certain amount of turns. It wouldn't do this, and it would make a horrible sound that almost had me thinking it was a wheel bearing, but nope, took it apart. And I think because I had that screw not aligned with the screw holes, like the little nub of what was left, that was probably what was doing some damage. It was kind of starting to push out on the rotor, is making a bit of, it was definitely not good, and now it's spinning free. So we'll know when we take it for a drive, but hopefully this is already much better. So should have no more noise up here, no more weird ass clunky bullshitty sound. Cool. This video today, we're going to be showing you, I guess, or just rather installing this stock engine mount on the Civic. If you've been following along, you know we just put in our low compression B20 and boosted everything in here, looking nice, looking good. So yeah, just driving around. It's pretty much my daily now, so with the solid mounts everywhere, it's a little bit too much, kind of rattling my bones, making me feel like an old man here by wanting to downgrade that, I guess you could say. But we have solid mounts all around, so we're just going to replace this stock driver's side mount here with a brand new but stock style rubber mount. which is going to dampen the vibrations a little bit, but I think with all the other solid mounts, it should be fine. I don't think it's going to torque too much, and I mean, this isn't a full-blown race car. So yeah, we're going to swap that mount in and see how much different it feels, if the ride is better or whatnot, because it's just a little rattly, especially with these old cars and the plastic panels and stuff like that. They just, you know, they make a lot of noise. I don't like that, so especially on long road trips. So for those of you that have not done this ever, basically going to show you how it mounts in. You've got a bolt there, one bolt down there, one bolt back here. We have our cruise control module here in the way, so two 10 mils there, one 10 mil there. Take those out, you can pull this to the side, and with my B20 setup, the power steering line runs right over those. So we're going to take off this top bolt here, that bottom bolt there, so that we can just slide this back a little bit out of the way to reach those bolts, and then pull that straight out and then put in our replacement one. Alright guys, so we just took out that mount. Make sure you put something underneath the engine. I just put a spare jack there on the oil pan, hold it up at a nice height. So once that's out here, that's the solid mount. That's the original stock style with the rubber kind of bushing in it. It's a lot more smooth. Should give us less vibrations than this one. The only thing to keep in mind is you're gonna need this stock sort of down plate, because when you buy these, they don't come with this. And I didn't see this for sale on Rock Auto or anything, so you might be able to buy this at like a Honda dealer, but best bet is to grab one from the scrapyard, or if you still have your stock one from your stock mount, then you can reuse that, put it on here. And yeah, so now we're just going to install this, and that'll be pretty much it. All right, so we just installed our soft engine mount here. Came over and I noticed on our manifold here, our this is an eBay manifold, obviously less expensive, and I guess these things tend to happen, so it's cracked off here a little bit, so we're gonna pull this out and we're gonna re-weld around that today. All right, so now we got our manifold out. You can see here what we need to weld, because yeah, you can see right through that clearly. That's no bueno, so we'll hold this down, weld it up, throw it back in the car. Hopefully it's good to go. And now, of course, the gasket that I had on there decided to poop the bed when I took it off, which is pretty standard, I guess. Multi-layer steel, whatever. I can get a pack of like 20 of these on Amazon, which I should have bought last week, because I could really use those right now. And I was wanting to sandwich like 2 of them to space out our downpipe again, like we had to do last time. I obviously used that gasket because it was a good thick one, but I think I'm gonna need like 2 of them, so I don't know. Hopefully I can get this running again today, but who knows, might not be able to. I might have to wait on some gaskets, but let's weld that up. All right, so just finished welding this up here. Welded all around the flange, and I know it's ugly, but decided to add just a bolt in there. Welded in to add some support, because there's just a lot of weight hanging on it. I believe that's one of the reasons why it cracked off too. And welds there. Also did a few welds on the inside just to make sure it's good to go. Hopefully won't have to deal with that problem again. Now we just have to figure out a gasket and put it back in the car. Oh my god, so 30 gallons of sweat, and a couple hours later it's all back together. I made a couple metal gaskets. Hopefully that works for now. I'm gonna order some proper ones. If that seals, cool. Keep it for a little bit and swap it out. At least just taking the gasket out's not too hard. Not as much of a pain as the whole manifold, but I'm so tired. Like, I'm fucking disgusting. Been spending so much money I wanted on this. Okay, so that's fucking it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Need to go jump in the shower.
When you ask me to bring that guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no. If you ask me bring the guacamole to the party, I'll say no, no, no. That shit's too expensive.